Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to 5 and 9 in a one-stop co-op shop, where I go over 5 things you need to know about a game in about 9 minutes or less. I'm going to do my best. Today I'm taking a look at Hunted Wode Ridge. This one was self-published by Gabe Barrett. It's for 1 to 2 players. It is a fast-playing card game that's meant to evoke a cinematic experience in a very short amount of time through that card play. So this is the third in the series. We have a one that will take off of the Aliens type movies, and then Nakatomi Plaza, a Die Hard type experience. This one is more along the lines of E.T., Stranger Things, kids in the 80s getting into adventure, discovering that there's all sorts of badness in their town and trying to deal with it and get home for dinner in time. It's a game that has the ambition to marry a big cinematic adventurous experience in a fast-playing card game. So how successful was it? Let's go to the videotape and find out. Disclaimer, I was provided a review copy of this game by the publisher. Number 5 is a mix, which is the onboarding process for learning this game. So there's a couple of counterintuitive things going on. For example, this is the deck. This is the heart of the game. This is where all the adventures come from. You have this cover card, and then you're going to draw cards one at a time from the bottom of the deck. And in Hunted, there is a mechanic where the deck can flip. So, now you're picking from the what used to be the top of the deck now is the bottom. I'll get to that in a little bit. So that's not bad. I'm just saying it's counterintuitive, and that could create a little bit of friction when learning. So then you have the card row that comes out, and in this game, you are using cards to pay for other cards. So the left side of the card is your currency, and then you pick certain cards and then you pay for other cards. So like if I wanted to pay for this one, I would use currency, and then pay for the clue and then get the effect. Now that's okay. And again, I'll comment that in a little bit, but just think about it from a person who's just onboarding. This looks like symbol soup, and it's really easy to kind of like, well, do I use this to pay for this? And do I get this as a reward? And, do I keep this, or do I, have to discard it right away? I just feel like there's enough counterintuitive elements over here to make learning this game a little bit more difficult than it probably needs to be. Having said that, once you are onboarded and you're into the flow of the game, now you're getting into a pro, and it might be the most purely enjoyable part of the game from a mechanical experience is getting into that flow. So it's like, okay, I know what's going on. Oh, look at my health is low. I got a med kit out there. I would love to have this clue, but I need the med kit. So I'm going to go ahead and discard these two and get my health up. Okay, so let me go ahead and get some more cards. Oh, look at that. I got a bell. So I have this bell over here. I better be careful with what I draw. So let me pause, zoom back out, look at my team resources, look at what tokens that I've collected. Maybe I have some items along the way, solve the problem that way. Boom, 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 boom. Sometimes there's that smooth ride. Sometimes there's challenge. I think that overall, in terms of the cards coming out of the deck, the rhythm feels pretty good. My number 3, also a pro, is the system of obstacles and monsters. So you're going to be dealing out your cards. Every once in a while, you're going to get a scenario where you have a couple of bells. It's like, oh no, if the next card is a trouble card, then I discard everything and I encounter something from the trouble deck. This is always bad. So then I'm rolling along, I get a card, oh my God, it's trouble. Or if I only have the one bell and I have a trouble and I can pull on, oh my God, I pulled 2 trouble. Both of those things are bad, a little bit of a push for luck element. I like how that works. And once they are out, they do different things. Sometimes, like you have to encounter your parents. That could be either tokens or a die roll. And the die roll, you can choose how many dice you roll, but then risk either wearing yourself out or doing some bad stuff to yourself. I like that push and pull. Also, this portal card, that is what transports you to the other side, where there are more scary monsters, but more opportunities to advance the end game. Just everything about that is really well done. Finally, big ups for this. Fail forward. No matter how you roll or what happens, you could fail your butt off. You still keep going. This is the kind of game I want to be able to do that. All that is wrapped up in a nice little package. My number 2, unfortunately, a con, is the game length. I felt like it was too long. Now, I'm not going to say the game is too long. I've played plenty of games, even these more stripped down card games, that last a while and I'm immersed in having fun. Here, I guess I'm just saying that the game didn't grab me, especially when it comes to this kind of culminating piece. So along the way, you're going to get your discover cards done. You're going to pull from the evidence deck, both question marks, and that is how we build our evidence. So that's a symbol matching exercise. It's pretty simple. The symbols have to match. Fine. Eventually, we fill up one of the rows, and then you read from the adventure book a little story. There's a binary choice or something that happens, and then you move on. You fill up the entire evidence row, and then you spawn the monster. For me, I was basically ready to hit that monster after 3 of them. I did not feel all that excited about having to fill up the entire evidence board. In addition, the adventures are okay. They felt very tacked on to the experience. There is a story that is emerging just from the cards themselves, which I'll get to in my next point. And I'm crafting my little story, but then it feels like something else comes out of left field. And sometimes that can be okay, but man, just a lot of the elements didn't come together for me. And I'm already a little bit further into a game that I'm not as interested in following through. So this whole evidence board and the climax of the game fell short for me. My number 1 is a theme integration. Ultimately, I'm going to land on mixed. So the theme itself is fabulous. I mean, you see the artwork, it renders so well, that 80s vibe, kids on bikes and E.T., Stranger Things, etc. And then I really love the attention paid to making sure that the theme comes out of the card play, not just in the adventure book. It's right there. So it's like, oh, I heard something was going on over on the other side of town. Do I rush over there with my brother's car? I don't think I can afford that. So let me go ahead and pop a Fizz Cola and see if I can get something else that could help me get over there. Oh no, it's Biff and the regular bullies. What are you doing over there? Get away from me. You're standing in the way. What's the rush? Hit him with the trap. Ah! Gets rid of that card, discard this card, and let's go. We can't afford to waste any more time. Let's take the card. Vroom. That is all so cool. So why do I call that a mix? It is a high wire act in terms of immersion. If you're in it, you're in it. But there might be a rules complication, or maybe you're just not into the Stranger Things theme. Then it just becomes, okay, I'm going to mash this symbol, mash that symbol, and the whole thing just falls apart. So does the game do enough to bring you in? You know, it's a mix, so clearly I had a little bit difficult with it, just me personally, but I wanted to highlight it for you to, determine whether this is the kind of game where you can get that immersion for your own experience. So that was Hunted Wode Ridge, and you could say this about any game. It's going to depend on the person playing it. But I think with these story-based games, the ones that are going to hang their hat on grabbing a player and immersing them into that cinematic world, that sense of like, does this work for you or not, is heightened. And it becomes very much binary. So I think of a game like Forgotten Waters from a couple years ago, or a closer analog to this one in terms of cards, will be Time Stories from, I think, 2015 or 16. If you're in it, it's amazing. If you're not in it, it's just symbol matching. Not all that exciting. However, if this appeals to you, especially that point about game flow, that quick playing, play a card, figure it out, and you're able to kind of marry that flow sense with your imaginative experience, then Hunted Wode Ridge might be the game for you. As always, my sincere hope is that I've shown you enough of the game so that you can make your own decision about how well this game fits in your collection. This is Jason with the One Stop Co-op Shop. We'll see you at the next stop.